This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's Bobby's World, brought to us by Film Roman and Fox Children's Productions. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to y'all. This, of course, is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So today's Saturday Morning TVLog is Bobby's World, one of the first shows to be shown on the Fox Kids Network. The show originally premiered in September of 1990. Now, the show was originally known as The World According to Bobby. The show was created by Canadian actor and comedian Howie Mandel, who also performs the voice of the titular character, and his dad, Howard. He also appears in a little live action wraparound before the intro and before the closing. It was produced by Film Roman, who had recently had success with Garfield and Friends, along with Fox Children's Productions. One more I forgot. Film Roman produced this for Mandel's Levy Productions. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I almost forgot that one, but it's okay. Anyway, the series follows the daily life of Bobby Generic, with his very overactive imagination and how he sees the world. Now, this came on right at the time I had gotten our actual Fox affiliate, and well, I didn't quite get into the show yet until maybe later on, and then soon I finally started to watch, and the show wasn't too bad. It was really, really a fun show, and all sorts of great characters. Let's see. But anyway, to be honest, this show had just a lot of fun and what have you. Now, our titular character of Bobby, whose full name is Robert Edelweiss Generic, voiced by Howie Mandel, of course, who was recently already known for voicing Baby Skeeter in Jim Henson's Muppet Babies, which that happened to be in its final season on CBS at the time. And of course, he also voiced Gizmo the Mogwai in Gremlins. Now, he is a young 4-year-old, well, but he's 5 from seasons 2 through 6, and then 6 years old in the final 2 seasons. He loves to fantasize. Imaginative Bobby claims, however, that he came from his dreams. Now, scenes with the titular character most often involve elaborate literal interpretations of the popular and colloquial sayings uttered by other characters during the show. Like a traffic jam becomes traffic jam as Bobby imagines spreading tiny cars and trucks on a piece of bread and taking a bite. Yeah. When he enters contests, he tends to end up losing because Bobby ends up being himself instead of using his common sense. He has spiky black hair, wears a white shirt with red short sleeves, which also reveals his stomach exposed, red shorts, and blue sneakers. Okay, I'm actually kind of feeling silly, but generic is actually is a mispronunciation of things. It's generic. That's actually the real way to say it. Now, of course, the patriarch is Howard, who is also voiced by Howie Mandel, using his actual normal voice. He usually punishes Bobby by sending him to his room for his misbehaving. Then there's his wife, Martha, voiced by Gail Mathias, who has red hair and is often seen wearing a sky blue tracksuit. And she has a prominent Midwestern accent and often peppered her speech with phrases like, "For corn's sakes, for crying in the mud, gee going." And don't you know, and what have you. Sometimes she'll also say that when Bobby's trying to, oh, he's so gosh darn cute. Yeah, that's kind of where I got my ideas of saying gosh darn. Actually, Gail based Martha on her Saturday Night Live character Rowena, a chain-smoking hairdresser. Yeah. Then there's the other youngsters in the group, and this next will be Kelly, voiced by Charity James. That's Bobby's 15-year-old tomboyish rebellious sister, the eldest of the Generic clan. Sporting a blonde shag haircut, purple eyeshadow, pink striped tights, and a Valley Girl accent and manner, and often uses her catchphrase, "Get real." Then there's the middle child, Derek Generic, originally voiced by Kevin Michaels for the first 6 seasons, and then Pamela Adlon for the final 2 seasons. Derek is Bobby's 10-year-old brother who's a bully with a rat tail hairdo, slashed blue jeans, and a sarcastic manner. He always teases and insults Bobby and tends to call him a dork or a dweeb. Bobby has a bad habit of listening to him, and Derek is often reprimanded by his parents for fooling his kid brother. Then we get to meet Jake and Alex, Bobby's younger twin brothers, who were introduced in season 3, but they were mentioned in the second season as Martha was pregnant with him. Now, he also has an aunt and uncle. Now, his aunt Ruth, which I really do remember this one. She is a blonde, amply contoured lady with a sweet, pretty face and her hair tied in a bun in kindly ways. Yeah, she is loving and affectionate toward her younger nephew, and particularly likes to paint his cheeks, which Bobby really doesn't go for. That's what I'm talking about. Like her brother, who I'll talk about in a second, she is unpartnered, but unlike him, makes no attempt to seek a sweetheart. And part of her signature attire is knee-high stockings rolled into a ring at the cuffs. And she's voiced by Susan Tolsky. Then, of course, there's probably the one that's really probably my favorite character on the show, besides Bobby himself, and that's Uncle Ted. Yes, he's a blonde, portly, jolly gentleman with a deep, rough voice, and his signature garment is a yellow shirt printed with red hearts. Now, Uncle Ted is a fun-loving fellow who loves to joke around with Bobby and is a collector of various things, one of which is a novelty item called Success Can. His last name is revealed to be Sven. He is unpartnered in his attempts to find a sweetheart in disaster. He is also affectionate toward his youngest nephew, which of course is Bobby, and often calls him by the nickname Bobo. Bobby likes hanging out with Uncle Ted because he thinks of all kinds of fun stuff to do, including giving him nookies! There's also the family dog, Roger. I think I remember this one. Frank Welker, who I'm familiar with that guy, did the vocal effects. And then, of course, well, non-talking character, Webley, Bobby's stuffed toy spider. Now, of course, I mentioned there's all sorts of other characters that appeared on the show, including Howie Mandel himself, which he interacts with Bobby in the hybrid opening and ending scenes. Now, in the first season episodes, live-action Howie is Howard Generic and has the ability to change into his animated alter ego. But beginning with season 2 and continuing until the end of the series, Howie and Howard are 2 separate individuals. Yeah. Let's see here. There's lots of other characters in here. There's George, Kelly's boyfriend, and George is voiced by Pauly Shore. Yes, that's right, you heard me correctly, as in the Pauly Shore, the actor. Then there's Kelly's friends Tiffany, Amber, and Andrea, voiced by Candy Milo, who of course would later go on to do work on other cartoons later on. well, ranging from, let's see if I can remember something. Oh yeah, she had later did work on shows like Mucha Lucha, Maya and Miguel, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, plus a lot of other tunes. Let's see. Then there's Bobby's teacher at the Little Red Preschool, Mrs. Orso, voiced by Edie McClurg. And then, of course, there's Jackie, voiced by Debbie Derryberry, who is Bobby's best friend with the floor-length pigtails, who has a crush on Bobby. Well, she's, I seem to remember this character. Almost sort of actually reminds me of Harriet from Small Wonder, even though I never got to see that show until years later. She always kisses Bobby, which Bobby hates, having to constantly wipe those kisses off. And Jackie speaks with a monotone voice. Oh boy. And there's also, let's see, Meeker and Snurd. Meeker is voiced by Pat Fraley, who was voicing Krang on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at the time. He recently did work on other cartoons, including the Filmation Ghostbusters tune and Brave Star. Snurd was voiced by Jeff Doucette for the first season, and then Rob Paulson, who would do work on Animaniacs and also from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then for the rest of the series run. They're a bumbling duo seen doing various jobs around town, whether it be mall cops, paramedics, or stagehands. And then there's Captain Squash, Bobby's favorite superhero. He often appears to help Bobby in his imaginations, and he's voiced by Gary Owens, who, of course, a lot of you know him. He played superheroes like Roger Ramjet, Space Ghost, and the Blue Falcon in Dioma, Dog Wonder. And of course, we also know him as the announcer from Rowan Martin's Laugh-In. And, well, I don't know who voices her. There's Charlotte, a rambunctious and sassy, fun-loving, adventurous girl who was famous for her dislike of chocolate and her tendency to tease Bobby incessantly over minor things he does. Man, this, like I said, that's all the characters. I'm getting ways ahead. Anyway, the show ran for 7 seasons overall and ended after a total of 81 episodes were produced. Anyway, after it ended in 98, the show got to be rerun on the new Fox Family Network, which of course that's freeform now until 2001. Now, anyway, the series has been shown on Netflix, Instant Treatment, and Cabellion as well, who, of course, has given the full series to YouTube. So that's the only place I know of you can find the full series if you haven't seen it. It was on Amazon Prime as well, Instant Video, but I don't think they have that anymore. But episodes can be occasionally seen in syndication on a variety of websites, on Netflix or on Comcast On Demand service. But again, the best place you can find them is YouTube. You can find probably the full series there. Really something. It also aired in Canada on White TV and then Teletoon Retro. It has been released on video cassette as well, and it has been released on DVD. And they're also available in, well, various DVDs from Moon Scoop Group, which you can only get through Manufacturer on Demand on Amazon. Now, there was to be a video game adaptation as well. Now, there was to be one for Super Nintendo, but it wasn't really quite available because it was canceled. There was a prototype of the game and was released by High Tech Expressions and developed by Rail Software Productions. It was also be on Sega Genesis and Game Boy. They were in development, but they weren't released. The Super Nintendo version did, in a way, get released. Well, sort of, but not really. But you can find a prototype of it. You can find full gameplay of it or clips from it. It's pretty short and can be finished in no time. There's a password option similar to Disney's Aladdin. But anyway, now in the game, Bobby's mother tells him to clean his room, and as he's cleaning, Bobby starts daydreaming about a toy. After beating a level, Bobby has another daydream about another toy he puts away. It's a platform game, and in some stages, the gameplay changes to something similar to a shmup. Of course, that's just shoot 'em up. Anyway, and you can use Webley to defend Bobby. Anyway, Webley can also help Bobby reach high platforms and what have you. But again, that's all I'm going to tell you. So now you know about Bobby's World. I've seen just about every episode of this show, but it's been a long time ago. Maybe I'll revisit this show one day if I feel like it. But anyway, I really think Bobby's World is really something, and it's really a funny show. So, what are your thoughts on Bobby's World? You can tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, be a part of the Big D Nation, and stay tuned because later tonight I will really give this to you, my review of The Secret of Nim for realsies. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out some of these other Saturday Morning TVLogs I had done. In the upper left-hand corner is one of the shows I was talking about, which Howie Mandel was involved in. That was Jim Henson's Muppet Babies. In the upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TVLog I did on, it's a special I did on the special Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue. Or you can go to the bottom left-hand corner and see last week's Saturday Morning TVLog in the form of Pac-Man. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Inch High Private Eye. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.